Hello, everyone, to the fourth episode of It's Team Time with the Centennial Admin. Hope you all had a great week and are looking forward to this weekend. So as is traditional to start off, we always ask ourselves to share some information just to so you can learn about us and know what we're doing. So the first question we're going to do today is around what are our summer plans? Where are we planning to go in BC, to stay local, to get away and feel like we went on vacation? So first off, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, with yesterday's announcement from the province that camping and some parks might be opening as we head into summer, friends and I had booked a trip to Manning Park sometime this summer that we're hopeful we'll still be able to pull off. So yeah, we're headed out that way.
All right, Ms. Farnell.
I have a trip booked for the Haida Gwaii in July that I'm really hoping that I get to go on, and have some cultural trails on there that are planned. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to do that.
Nice. Mr. Chalfito?
Well, I love to get my fly fishing in over the summer. So if I can get out and do some camping, I'm going to be heading up to the interior and hitting some of the lakes out there, and maybe fit in some time to, I don't know, find a little place to rent with my family and enjoy I don't know if we'll get a chance to go to the island this summer, but if that opens up, then that's where I might go too.
All right. And Mr. B, we have a family trip planned, and hopefully it's allowed to go to Cortez. So I grew up going to the Gulf Islands, so the entire King clan is shipping off, and we've got a cabin for us to cavort in. So just a reminder that every week you can send us your questions as well for any information you'd like to know about the school. There's a link provided below. And this week we had 2 questions asked. The first question is around cap and gown refunds. Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, so we did decide as a district to be offering refunds for all the grad activity fees. So we are still looking at some modified celebrations that were in plans right now to be making. So you'll hear more about that. And also we'll be talking to our accounting secretary about how those refunds will be processed. We are still having the caps and gowns delivered to the school, and we will be handing those out to grads as souvenirs and for your photo opportunities. But you'll hear more about that soon.
All right. Summer school, Mr. Chalfito.
All right, so we did send information out on May the 6th to parents regarding summer school. So at this time, it looks like summer school courses are going to be offered for grades 10 to 12 only, and will be completed online. So that's where it stands right now. Things could change. We don't know, but at this time, that's where it is. There are 2 programs for summer school. So one is for our local students, and one is for international students. So I'm going to talk about the program for our local students. Just for now, we'll talk about the program for international students. So for local students, these are Canadian citizens and permanent residents. There really are 2 options for them. They can register through Coquitlam Online, or Coquitlam Open Learning, I should say, starting May the 8th. So that's starting May the 8th. You can begin their courses once they've been given access. To register, students should go to www.ce43.com. They also have an option to do a fast track program, which is kind of a blended environment of virtual face-to-face learning. At this time, it looks like that's what it'll be. So it'll be 2 face-to-face classes with their teachers every week in a virtual setting, and then the remainder of the course is done more independently online. That fast track program runs from July the 2nd to August the 7th, and registration will open up, I believe it is on May the, now I gotta look it up. Anyways, I'll find out, but it is open. There's an online application to register for summer learning. That is www.summerlearningcoquitlam.ca. So, actually, the registration date is May the 19th. So, opens up May the 19th at 6 a.m.
Okay, International Summer School is a little bit different. It's going to run from July 2nd to August 7th, and will be for grade 10 to 12 completion courses only. It does have a weekly mandatory online tutorial, and the rest of it will be delivered virtually. Registration is actually already open. Ms. Baker did send out this information last week. So you can sign up on the International Ed website, and then your counselor actually has to approve the courses that you've selected to confirm your registration, and that'll be done towards the end of May. So this is for all students that are thinking of doing summer school. If you had told your counselor that you were going to take a course and you've changed your mind, you really need to make sure that you let your counselor know as soon as possible, so we can put you back into the courses that you should be in. We don't want to get to September and then have to try and find you space in courses that would be really tight for space. So you need to let your counselor know right away. If now you're thinking, hey, summer school looks like a great idea, I'm going to sign up, you also need to let your counselor know so we can make changes to your course schedules.
We have been having some pretty great special guests. We've had our prime ministers, the mayor of Coquitlam, and this week Miss Farnell and I interviewed our culinary assistant Jeffrey Fagan about the programs that are running out of our kitchen to supply local families with food during the pandemic. So we'll send us over to that interview.
Hey Centaurs, as we mentioned every week, we'll be interviewing a special guest, and this week it's our pleasure to welcome Chef Jeffrey Fagan to the episode. You may recognize Jeffrey as our amazing culinary assistant serving delicious meals at lunch. So hello, Chef, and thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Yeah, and we have a couple of questions that we wanted to ask Jeffrey and have him share a little bit what's going on in our cafeteria and culinary program. I also want to introduce Freddie, who showed up I think a couple of weeks ago in a video, but he's here to help with the interview and maybe fall asleep. So yeah, Jeffrey, so you joined us in the past year. Where were you working before you came to Centennial?
Most recently, I was at Kingfishers in Maple Ridge, where I was the head chef and I designed their new menu.
Cool.
Before that, I was head chef at Taps and Tacos in Port Moody. Yeah. I was the first person or the first chef there, so I designed their menu.
Nice.
And before that, I did a whole bunch of working on trains and industrial boats and food trucks and pretty much anything that moved.
Nice.
Including a summer spent up in Nunavut working for a NASA research camp.
Oh, wow, that sounds super cool. Yeah. Oh. During this pandemic, we know that many families have been impacted and several parents have lost their jobs and are having a hard time supporting their families. So tell us a bit about what you've been doing this time to help these families out.
Yeah, we've been working with the Share Society in Port Moody, teamed up with Riverside and Glen Eagle. And between the three of us, we've been providing 360 food hampers weekly to share. These hampers include fresh vegetables like onions, carrots, potatoes, and whatnot. And yeah, it's been great. We've just sent out our 4th, and we're putting together our 5th week.
Yeah,
amazing. That's awesome. I've seen some of the baskets going out, and it's an incredible amount of
it's been great.
love. Yeah.
Some of the ladies that work with us, Linda, and some of the other schools have been writing inspirational messages on the bags for the recipients, and they've been loving it. So it's great to be part of it and to give back.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Is there anything that we can use this forum that you might want to share with our families and students out there in the Centennial community?
Yeah, just basically we're all going through this, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone needs help in different ways. And yeah, we're all here together, so reach out to administrators or anything you can do. Like, yeah, don't be afraid to get assistance or whatever's needed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. There are lots of phone calls and emails flying around. So if you're out there watching this video and you're receiving those phone calls or you're hearing from your teachers and your family is having a hard time, yeah, please connect with us, either your counselor, your vice principal, or even that teacher, and let us know, because yeah, we've got great people working behind the scenes and putting good stuff out in the community. So thanks very much, Jeffrey.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you very much for that interview. That was awesome to hear, and all the great work that's going on. So every episode we end with a challenge, and this, with the change in weather and the length of time we've been inside, we think we should try to be a little active. So that this week's challenge will be to engage in some sort of physical activity at least 4 times this coming week. And if you do, you can take a photo and you can share it in the link provided below. And we are going to be doing a draw from the names of those who submit, and the winner will be given some Centennial swag. So looking forward to seeing people getting active and moving out there. Well, that is it. This is the 4th episode. I'm glad you're all listening. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to fill out the form below. Looking forward to seeing you all in the future, and take care.
Awesome. See you, everybody.
Guys.